Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is already off to a bad start. The frame rate is so bad. Like, who allowed this frame rate to go past the testing stage? It is literally unwatchable. It is like watching a Roblox game, but it's made by a professional team. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero truly is a sparking disappointment because there's not even GT shown yet. There's not even movie characters shown other than SSJ3 Dragon Fist Goku. And the fact that no GT character is going to be in the game likely is just so unfortunate that these games are just putting out lackluster games and not putting effort into the initial release and just hoping that the DLC and hoping people get that. And that is just so unfortunate because Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has so much potential. It is Jeffrey with what it has shown is not the Budokai Tenkaichi 4. It is just using that for clout. We all know that Budokai Tenkaichi games will never be reached again because we know now that new games will always have DLC to cash grab more money because hey, let's hold back some of the game that we would have released before and just release in parts for more additional money for the same effort as games were made before in the past. But now it's just like releasing in parts. And it's just so unfortunate that games have gone this route of this delaying the full game for money. And when you just make a new game for money, but it's just like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a disappointment. Like, it is just so mid. If there's no GT content in base game, I'm not getting the DLC for just GT content. Like, why is this not in the base game? Why cannot people enjoy a full game in 2024? But literally when DLC started getting made, the game companies literally started putting less effort into the initial release, and then they make you pay more to get content that should have already been in the game. Like, the only reason why DLC should exist is for fixes and things like that. Like, before DLC even existed, like, the game did not have this much bugs. Like, they were playable unless you intentionally tried to cause bugs or something like that. It's just so unfortunate that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a sparking disappointment. Like, the frame rate is literally unwatchable. Like, the brightness, the art is just so... It looks good in its style, but the art style does not match Dragon Ball Z. It does not match, and this game does not reach the level that Budokai Tenkaichi 3, Budokai Tenkaichi 2, Budokai Tenkaichi 1 have created. Like, the standard is so high and the game did not reach that standard because it is just so mid. The graphics look so bad. There's only one stage for local multiplayer. There's just so much bad because of the laziness that game companies are doing in 2024 now. When before they would just release the full game, you'd be able to have the full game, you'd have the online mode all at initial release. Now you have to pay yearly subscriptions to just play a game online. You have to wait for the DLC to come out, and this is just all ruining the gaming experience. Why are gamers allowing this to happen? And the only way that game companies will stop this is if you say something that you should release the full game, even if they increase the price, and they should release a full game, not a game that's just delaying content, just for delaying content to make more money. Like, this earlier games never had to do this because they had respect. They actually were putting in the effort into the game. All the previous Budokai Tenkaichi games, all the characters released at the initial release, then they made a new game, changed things up, released more characters, and that's how it worked. But now it's just that they keep not making a bad initial game and adding DLC later. Like, that's a upgrade from previous games. It's a downgrade. It's just so unfortunate that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a sparking disappointment because we all know Budokai Tenkaichi games are better, the 18 Blast games are better, and it's just so unfortunate that these games are just doing this now in 2024, and there's just so much better ways to implement this. Like, if you're gonna release a DLC, you're not gonna put GT in the game, and that's already a downgrade. It's not the upgrade from the previous games, and you can play all these characters except the super ones. And it's just so unfortunate that Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a sparking disappointment because they want to hold back content. They want, like, the advertising. Like, if GT's now the base game, that's literally a star downgrade in the reviews right there. Like all the previous games had a base game. Now they're making you have to get DLC for content that was already in the previous game. Like, that makes zero sense.